Whatever happened to the President of the United States of America? The band, of course, not the Obama. The Peaches song?
Can you sing it? I can't really remember what it is.
I'm trying to remember it one sec.
Peaches song.
Yeah. It's like millions of peaches, peaches for me.
Oh.
Millions of peaches, peaches for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically a one-hit wonder
I've
band.
never heard of this
Kind
band
of a
at
cult
all.
following, I guess.
That's the answer. Then they're a one-hit wonder.
They got
Whatever
eaten.
happened to Toto?
He got
Toto, that
eaten.
little dog?
Yeah, the dog from Wizard of Oz.
Toto made the song Africa. Come on, boys, it's waiting there for you.
They did do a remix of it.
That is true. You got his 15 seconds of fame again.
I don't know what it is about one-hit wonders. Like, they tapped into the human unconscious just long enough to get the magic for one song, and then they lost it again.
Yeah, but I think
guess
that's the
what happened
best
with
way to
Kanye.
be famous is to be a one-hit wonder, because you have that experience of all the fame and the fortune and the glamour of that life, but then after it's done, you can go back to a normal life and enjoy all of the comforts there.
But can
And
you?
you don't
But
have
can
to.
you?
Yeah, that crushes people.
Yeah.
The fact that they have all the stars and the glitter, the whatever else, drugs, sex, and rock and roll, and now they have to go back to a regular life. They have to go work a 9 to 5.
You bring
Well,
up
what happens to ongoing stars though? Like they all die a horrible death in bathtubs full of money and blood. Like I don't want that.
They're
Isn't
still
there
pretty
like the
happy while
20?
doing it.
Isn't it the 27 Club? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
these great artists or whatnot
The
have
Kurt
died before?
Cobains, the Jimi Hendrixes, the Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a special number of 27.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you bring up an interesting point, because it's almost like comparing it to winning a lottery. A lot of people don't actually know how to react when they get all this money all of a sudden. However, if you are mentally prepared for it and you are aware of the studies, and I think it's one way of dealing with it. So if you just make the one-hit wonder, and then you use the money wisely, and then continue your life as is, except with a little bit less scare to it, then I think I kind of agree. Because for me, if I were to write an album, I would want it to make just enough so that I could continue living and continue studying and continue being interested in what I'm interested in, but without that consistent fear of whether or not the economy will change in such a way that I won't get the job that I want, for example. Though that could potentially increase the drive, but it would be nice to have that sort of cushion. So that's my.
Do you guys remember the song Blue? Blue, ba-dum-dee-da-dum-da.
What did you actually say
I
there?
would die. I
Okay.
would
Green.
die.
Is he saying what? If I was green, I would die?
No, it's just abadi abadi.
Abadi abadi.
Yeah.
I always thought it was if I was green,
I
I,
thought
would
it was
die
the
because he was
nonsense
so
there.
happy about being blue.
So, hold on. Did I ask questions about the cell phones yet?
No.
Okay. Your thoughts on social media and other instant electronic communications. Like, what do you guys think? It's a benefit to society that we are able to communicate with each other all day, every day? Are we able to get our thoughts out onto the wide?
Oh, hang on. Did
Ancient
someone just
internet?
like my photo?
Yeah, I think one sec.
You know, personally, I think it cuts into my time where I can kind of just sit in my room in the dark and cry. So I'm not a big fan.
No.
What? If you sit in your room and cry and you
Oh,
don't
and
post
eat
on
Cheetos.
Facebook about it, did it really happen? You know those posts that people obviously want some sort of response from their friends? Like, I'm sad right now, and then their friends are supposed to say, well, don't be sad, you have us. I like you.
Attention-seeking posts.
Yes.
I
Those
hate
are just-
those.
Those bug me.
Those are weird.
I think if you.
No, I can't get any signal in
I
here.
think if you have a social media account, you should be aware of what you're doing. So you should be aware that that is kept forever on the internet. Even if you delete it, it's probably saved on some server somewhere. And you can't go around advertising yourself as being something like that. I mean, obviously you can. It's free speech, whatnot, but I think that it just does not look very good. So people need to be conscious. So if they are going to enter the world of social media, they should actually be conscious of the mannerisms and what they're putting out there and what that actually looks like to other people who may be older or more experienced or more knowledgeable. So it's just something to consider when you are using a social media account.
Yeah, and I don't think a cell phone or whatnot, it's never going to be better than social interactions. I love talking to people. Like, you can get so much more from a conversation if you're face to face with someone. You have facial expressions, you have tone of voice that people are using. There really is no substitute for that. Because how many times have you misinterpreted something somebody texts you?
Oh yeah.
I do it all the time. Like, I can get mad about something that really didn't even happen because there's nothing there to give me any other way of knowing.
All right, so in that, well, kind of a branch off of that, how do you guys feel about the fact that in the United States NSA is able to look at everything you put on your Facebook, everything you've ever texted, and things like that, and they're cataloging all this as
Why are they cataloging this? What?
exactly.
Whatever I think, why does that matter to them?
Because it's not just you, it's serial killers too, right? And pedophiles.
Happens with human nature. It's just something that's going to happen. So if you're starting to use Facebook before you're consciously aware of everything that you're doing, it's not necessarily fair to go back and judge what you said when you were 11 or 12 or 13. It's not how you behave now, right? So there is a change that's going to happen with people, and to keep that and look at that is extremely immature, and it's not a good way of going about how to deal with all this information. So I think if companies are doing that, they should develop policies that actually make sense to how people develop. Because if you have all these people sharing all this information and growing up on the internet, at which point are you not going to have, like, for example, in regards to hiring people, right? If everybody grew up and sort of made silly comments on Facebook and you're looking at that, and then suddenly who are you going to hire? You know what I mean? So obviously they're probably looking for specific things like, again, like terrorist things and I don't know, plans to harm people, things like that. But on the other hand, you always hear about, oh no, like this person looks like they're drinking, so we're not going to hire them. And that's just the scare a lot of people have. And I don't know if that's actually what they do, but if that is, then it's just something to question. And
Yeah, I mean, teachers have got fired for things that were on their Facebook, right? Like pictures of them drinking.
Yeah, and the one thing you said that I thought was really important about this whole idea of growing up on the internet, because I find that as the generations progress, children younger and younger are getting involved in things that we would have never done at that age. You know, I know there are children out there who are under the age of 10 and they're involved in social media already. When I was 10 years old, I don't know, what did you guys do? I went outside, I would jump
running
rope.
around naked in the mud somewhere.
I read The Babysitter's Club.
So I mean, just different things like that. So
That
it's
was Russian.
such a new world for these young kids, and they're being so exposed to things that I'm not really sure that they're ready for, that they've been properly educated about. So it's something we really have to consider and be careful about, because children are just so easily impressionable.